Our journey into ancient Greece begins on the sun-drenched island of Crete, where the sparkling blue waters of the Mediterranean meet rugged mountains and fertile valleys. This enchanting island was home to Europe's first great civilization, the Minoans, who flourished over 4,000 years ago. Named after the legendary King Minos, the Minoans were masterful sailors and traders, navigating the seas and connecting distant lands. They built magnificent palaces like Knossos, adorned with vibrant frescoes of dolphins, bull leapers, and scenes of daily life, reflecting a culture that celebrated beauty and nature. Their society was remarkably peaceful and prosperous, relying on trade rather than conquest. Unlike later civilizations, their palaces were unfortified, suggesting a sense of security and stability. The Minoans developed a unique writing system known as Linear A, which remains undeciphered to this day, leaving much of their story shrouded in mystery. As Minoan power faded, possibly due to natural disasters or foreign invasions, a new force emerged on the Greek mainland, the Mycenaeans. Unlike the Minoans, the Mycenaeans were fierce warriors living in heavily fortified citadels like Mycenae, ruled by powerful kings who commanded armies and built impressive tombs. The Mycenaeans admired Minoan art and culture, adopting their styles and transforming Linear A into Linear B, the earliest known form of written Greek, which we can now read. Through trade and warfare, the Mycenaeans expanded their influence across the Aegean, and their legendary exploits inspired Homer's epic tales of heroes and gods. The legendary Trojan War, immortalized in the Iliad, likely echoes real Mycenaean conflicts and rivalries with neighboring powers. Around 1200 BC, the Mycenaean civilization mysteriously collapsed. Their palaces were burned and abandoned, leaving behind only ruins and unanswered questions. The cause of this dramatic fall remains debated. Some blame invasions, others natural disasters or internal strife, but it plunged Greece into a period of darkness and isolation. The vibrant world of palaces and legendary heroes faded away, setting the stage for a new era of rebirth and transformation. From these ancient foundations, the long journey toward the Greece we know today would slowly begin, rising from the ashes of the past. After the Mycenaean collapse, Greece entered the so-called Dark Ages, a time of change, not emptiness. Grand palaces vanished, writing was forgotten, and life became local and simple. Isolated villages focused on survival and the population shrank. Yet, new traditions emerged. Iron replaced bronze, pottery became geometric, and oral storytelling flourished. Tales of gods and heroes passed down by bards would later inspire Homer's epics. Out of this darkness, a revolutionary idea arose: the polis, or city-state. People began to see themselves as citizens, not subjects governing their own communities. Each polis was independent, with its own laws, army, and identity. The agora and acropolis became the heart of civic life. Hundreds of city-states sprang up, fiercely independent yet sharing language and culture. The rise of the polis marked the true beginning of ancient Greece. Rivalry and cooperation among these city-states would shape Greek history. Among the many city-states, two stood out: Sparta and Athens, opposites in almost every way. Sparta was a military society, training boys from age 7 to become elite warriors through the harsh agoge. Spartan life was rigid, with a strict hierarchy: Spartiates, Perioikoi, and Helots the enslaved majority. Spartan women had more freedom, expected to raise strong sons for the state. In contrast, Athens valued creativity, trade, and the power of ideas. Athens evolved from aristocracy to democracy, where male citizens debated and voted directly. This radical system fostered achievements in philosophy, drama, and art. Despite its flaws, slavery and exclusion of women, Athenian democracy became a model for the world. The rivalry between Sparta's discipline and Athens's innovation defined Greek civilization. In the early 5th century BC, the independent Greek city-states faced a grave threat: invasion by the mighty Persian Empire, whose armies stretched across continents and seemed unstoppable. When Athens bravely aided rebellious Greek cities in Ionia, they drew the wrath of Persia. Determined to punish Athens and assert dominance, the Persians launched a massive invasion across the Aegean Sea. At Marathon, the outnumbered Athenians achieved a stunning victory against overwhelming odds, proving that Persian might could be challenged, and that courage could shape history. A decade later, King Xerxes returned, leading a colossal force by land and sea, determined to crush the Greeks once and for all. In the face of this threat, Sparta and Athens set aside their rivalries. King Leonidas and his 300 Spartans, joined by allies, made a legendary stand at Thermopylae, holding the narrow pass against thousands. Their heroic sacrifice bought precious time for the Greek defenses to rally and prepare for the next battles. The Athenian navy, led by the cunning Themistocles, lured the Persian fleet into the narrow straits of Salamis and crushed them, turning the tide of war. The following year, united Greek forces defeated the Persians at Plataea, ending the immediate threat and securing their homeland. These hard-fought victories preserved Greek independence, inspired a new era of confidence, and became legendary tales for generations. The Persian Wars, though brief in unity, brought the Greek city-states together and set the stage for Athens' rise to power and influence. The struggle for freedom became a defining moment in Greek identity, shaping their values of courage, democracy, and unity. The legacy of their courage and unity would echo through history, inspiring future generations to fight for freedom and self-determination. After the Persian Wars, Athens led the Delian League, transforming it into an empire and ushering in its golden age. Under Pericles, Athens flourished, building the Parthenon, attracting artists, philosophers, and thinkers. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle laid the foundations of Western philosophy. The arts thrived, tragedies and comedies explored human nature, and historians like Herodotus and Thucydides pioneered historical writing. Daily life was rich for citizens, who debated in the agora and enjoyed public festivals. Yet this prosperity rested on empire slavery and the exclusion of women. Despite its limits, Athens' achievements in art, thought, and politics shaped the world. The Golden Age's legacy endures in our ideas and institutions. Athens became the symbol of human creativity and potential. Athens' growing power alarmed Sparta, leading to the Peloponnesian War, a brutal conflict that tore Greece apart. Athens relied on its navy, while Sparta dominated on land. Pericles' strategy kept Athenians behind city walls, but a devastating plague struck, killing thousands. Years of warfare brought cruelty, shifting alliances, and political chaos. Athens' disastrous Sicilian expedition destroyed its fleet and morale. With Persian support, Sparta built a navy and defeated Athens at Aegospotami. Starved and besieged, Athens surrendered, its walls were torn down and its empire dissolved. The war left Greece exhausted, divided, and vulnerable. The Golden Age was over, and the city-states never fully recovered. The Peloponnesian War was a tragedy for all Greeks. Infighting weakened them, opening the door to new powers. The dream of unity faded, replaced by instability. Greece's glory days had ended in ruin. As the southern Greeks weakened, Macedon rose under King Philip II. Philip reformed the army, creating the unstoppable Macedonian phalanx. Through conquest and diplomacy, he united Greece after defeating Athens and Thebes at Chaeronea. Philip planned to invade Persia but was assassinated. His son Alexander inherited the throne. Alexander, taught by Aristotle, proved a military genius. He crushed rebellions, then launched a campaign against Persia in 334 BC. In a decade, Alexander toppled the Persian Empire, conquered Egypt, and pushed into India. His victories were legendary, and he founded cities like Alexandria. Only his army's exhaustion stopped his advance. In 323 BC, Alexander died in Babylon at age 32. He left behind one of history's largest empires. The Greek world was forever changed. Alexander's sudden death left his empire divided among his generals. The Diadochi. Decades of civil war split the empire into kingdoms: Ptolemaic Egypt, the Seleucid Empire, and Antigonid Macedon. This Hellenistic age saw Greek culture spread across the Near East. Greek became the language of trade, government, and learning. Cities like Alexandria in Egypt became centers of science, philosophy, and art. The old polis faded. Power now lay with kings and professional armies. Greek and Eastern cultures blended, creating a cosmopolitan civilization. Art and philosophy grew more individualistic and emotional. Yet, constant wars weakened the kingdoms. As they fought, a new power, Rome, rose in the West. The decline of the Hellenistic kingdoms marked not just the end of an era, but the beginning of a new chapter in world history. As these once mighty realms weakened, they paved the way for the rise of a new power, Rome. Rome, relentless and highly organized, swept across the Greek world. In 146 BC, the destruction of Corinth signaled the end of Greek political independence, as the last resistance crumbled before the might of Roman legions. Greece became a Roman province, but its spirit and culture remained deeply influential, woven into the very fabric of Roman society. The Romans admired Greek art, philosophy, and education, adopting and spreading these treasures throughout their vast empire, from the Mediterranean to distant provinces. Greek language and ideas became the foundation of the Eastern Roman world, shaping thought, religion, and daily life for centuries to come. The final act of the Hellenistic Age came with the fall of Cleopatra and the last Hellenistic kingdom in 31 BC, as Egypt too was absorbed into the Roman Empire. The age of the independent polis was over, replaced by Roman rule and administration, but the echoes of Greek innovation continued to resonate. Yet the legacy of Greece endures: democracy, philosophy, science, and art. These achievements became the bedrock of Western civilization. Greek words, stories, and ideas are the foundation of our literature, our science, and our way of thinking. Their achievements in government, thought, and beauty still inspire us, reminding us of the heights human creativity can reach. The stories of gods and heroes remain timeless, echoing through art, literature, and our collective imagination. From the palaces of Crete to the great library of Alexandria, the journey of ancient Greece is a story of creativity, resilience, and genius. Its influence shapes our world to this day, reminding us that the spirit of Greece lives on in every corner of modern life.